The Indian government is tightening the rules for businesses entering its power sector to check for any malwares. Now, the move is aimed to check China's advance into sensitive sectors, and currently the Chinese firms like Harbin Electrics, Dongfang Electrics, Shanghai Electrics and Sifang Automation either supply equipment or manage power distribution in 18 of India's cities. The local firms have long been asking the government to put a stop on Chinese involvement in the power sector, raising security concerns. But the Indian government is considering a report by the Central Electricity Authority that sets new conditions for firms bidding for power transmission contracts, tipping the scales in favour of local companies. According to the new rules, the companies need to detail the source of their raw materials for transmission systems and will be barred from further operations in India if their materials contain any forms of malware. Now, although the report nowhere mentions any reference to China, but giving the points that the company needs to abide is intended to deter China from making any further headway in India because of security concerns. Now, the report also suggests that security agencies have implemented a series of protocols and checks for Chinese equipment which comes into the power sector. And also the Indian government is taking similar steps on the telecom sector as well, demanding higher security standards in an area that is dominated by Chinese makers of equipment and smartphones. Now, the move also comes just a day after the government decided to review the import of electronics and IT products from China. Now, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has asked 21 smartphone makers, mostly Chinese, to provide details about the safety and security practices. Now, architecture frameworks, guidelines, standards, etc. that have been followed in the product or service offered in India by the Chinese vendors. The Chinese vendors such as Xiaomi, Lenovo, Oppo, Vivo and Xiaomi together account for over half of India's $10 billion smartphone market. Now, the recent developments also come at a time when both India and China are involved in a standoff near Sikkim. Now, the most serious military face-off in 3 decades between the two nations.